Hey there guys, welcome back to What Cheers. I'm Nick as always. Tonight we're going to take a look at the very well-known Surly Abrasive Double IPA. I have to give a huge thanks to my buddy Royce for sending this out to me. I just got this in yesterday at time of recording anyways, but I just got this in from him when I'm filming this, and it was canned about 3 weeks ago, and it's one of the most well-known double IPAs that comes out once a year. It's a very limited release, very highly rated and sought after, and yeah, it's basically the best hoppy beer that Surly does, and they do a lot of great beers. So this is, as I said, this is their Abrasive. It comes out once a year in November. On the website, it says hazy gold in color. This Oatmeal Double IPA has aggressive aromas of candied grapefruit, tangerine, and tropical fruit. Malted oats greatly enhance the body, and the high level of bitterness is balanced by this sweetness. Citra hops are used for aroma and flavor additions and for dry hopping, while Warrior hops are used primarily for bitterness. So they've got 2-row for the malt and golden naked oats. They're using Warrior and Citra, as you just heard, and English ale yeast. And one of the most interesting things, guys, is that this beer does not list, even on the website, does not list the ABV, and does not list it on the can. This beer is 9%, guys. So if you're getting into this, yeah, it's just it'll kind of knock you on your ass for a full pint. So it is surprising that they don't put it's 9%. It's kind of a big beer, but it is indeed. And this beer has been around since 2008. So that's a long time for a double IPA like this to have been around. One of the most interesting things, if you guys were listening, was that because they use oats, which increases the mouthfeel tremendously. Something that you guys are probably used to hearing me talk about with these New England IPAs from Treehouse especially, and Trillium. They have got to be using oats to enhance that mouthfeel, and not many other breweries are really doing that. I don't know if like Toppling Goliath, I don't know if Mike Sabo is doing that with his IPAs, but it is very interesting to hear Surly call this a Oatmeal Double IPA, because it's essentially what I think is going on at breweries like Treehouse and Trillium to get that rich, creamy, velvety mouthfeel. So this is very cool to have a beer from the Midwest just basically doing exactly that, and they've been making this beer for a long time. So yeah, guys, Citra and Warrior. My buddy Royce, who sent me this, has told me that this is the best batch they've ever done, and that this beer actually rivals King Sue, which is saying a hell of a lot, because King Sue is probably one of the best double IPAs I've ever had, and that is 100% Citra hopped from Toppling Goliath. So guys, yeah, let's get into this. I'm anxious to see if it really is up to that level, but he was just raving about it, and he has a great palate, and he's very familiar with the kind of beers that I'm trying. So anyways, guys, it's been out of the fridge now for about a half hour, 45 minutes. Still got a nice chill to it. Perfect to crack into it. Let's go ahead and do that. As I said, 9%, guys, and not listed on the can, so interesting. This was canned on October 20th, and today is the 14th of November. So yeah, I think that's like 3 weeks. Definitely less than a month. It's got a nice pour on it. Yeah, it's probably good. Give you guys an idea of what it looks like, and yeah, let's go for it. Oh wow, I can smell that already. It smells crazy. Let's get a look at the appearance real quick, guys. Got about a 2-finger head there, super tightly packed bubbles, a slightly off-white head, but yeah, super tightly packed, small bubbles. Get a look at the appearance. Got a nice slight haze to it. You can see like super fine hop particulates or yeast or whatever. There's a super fine particulates all throughout the beer floating around. Pretty interesting looking, actually. Got a nice nice carbonation streaming up. It's a golden, really bright golden kind of honey color up to the bright lights here. Away from the light, it looks like a dark golden honey color. Away from the light, pretty damn dark actually. But yeah, it's not totally like thick and opaque, but it definitely is a little hazy. Wow, that head really looks like super creamy, dense looking head. Let's get an aroma on it, guys. It's got a nice chill to it, but it's been out for a while, so let's get an aroma. Yeah, yeah, I can see what Royce is talking about as far as the King Sue reference. It is Citra for the aroma and flavor hops. So it basically is a lot of Citra. And it definitely has that sort of grainy, raw hop character to it with that super just tropical fruit juice kind of thing going on. Yeah, this thing is just like honeydew melon, watermelon, yeah, like almost like an orange marmalade. Definitely like fresh cut oranges, pineapples, like overripe pineapple is another good one to compare to. Yeah, just huge melon notes, huge tropical, like super like fresh or overripe tropical fruits blended up together, just like dripping wet. And you know what? You don't get any of that 9%. You don't get any of it. There's not even a hint of it in the aroma, and this is pretty warmed up now. Yeah, it just smells like straight up Citra hops. There is a malty backbone to this. And this beer is only 3 weeks old, but there's a slight malty, bready backbone to this as well. It's a little bit grainy too and raw though, which kind of helps it out. But there's a slight like sweet malt to it. But it is mainly a Citra bomb, guys. It smells like tropical fruit juice. I can't believe the 9% is so hidden. And I do see what he means about comparing it to King Sue. I get that entirely. So let's go ahead and get a sip on this, guys. Cheers. Thank you, Royce. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Ooh, this one's a bruiser. This one is, oh wow, yeah. For a Midwest IPA, double IPA, this thing is the shit. Wow, that is so good. There's just like a lot going on in this beer, a lot. Like it travels through, it goes through phases on your palate. It's a very, very exciting beer, very, very good. Let's get another sip, guys, and I'll talk about the flavor. Wow. 9%. Let's talk about the alcohol for 1 second again. I don't know where the fuck they put the 9%. It's nowhere to be found. Nowhere. Right up front, I get a huge blast of that sweet watermelon, honeydew melon, cantaloupe type of thing. And it kind of carries through the palate all the way, that sweetness, that pineapple juicy sweetness, that honeydew melon, cantaloupe sweetness. And those are the two main flavors, by the way. There's some orange in there, but the orange comes later, mid-palate to finish, and sort of like an orange rind type bitterness. Just maybe some fresh cut oranges as well, but mainly like sugar-coated, like orange rind type of thing. Excuse me. But mid-palate is where this thing explodes with the hops. It is just attacking your palate. It's very juicy, very sweet, but you're getting attacked by the hops. I don't know the IBUs on this. That would be interesting to find out. But yeah, the warrior playing the part of the bitterness, very, very nicely done. It does attack the palate, but the bitterness is not a big deal. And I'm saying that after having some beers recently where they're single IPAs and they're still very bitter. This one doesn't have that. This one's very sweet, very hoppy, and finishes mouth coating with flavor, but it does not finish mouth coating with bitterness, which is very, very impressive stuff from Midwest. Something you would obviously expect from something like Toppling Goliath. Yeah, beautiful sweetness, absolutely gorgeous sweetness to this beer. It tastes like fresh tropical fruit juice that you blended up and made yourself from like fresh tropical fruits. Very sweet, juicy, Very, very hoppy, especially after you swallow. It just sort of lingers, coats your mouth with hoppy flavors and the juicy flavors. And there is virtually no bitterness to this beer. That's ridiculous. It's amazing. That's something that I guess I take for granted with Trillium and Treehouse beers, even Hill Farmstead, all the New England greats. I take that for granted sometimes, the bitterness not being there. But to have a beer this huge, 9%, and I'm sure the IBUs are high in this as well, is a huge beer, and it does not taste like there's any bitterness to this whatsoever. That's one of my favorite things to look for in a beer like this, and I don't know how they do it. It's really amazing stuff, guys. The Citra is so huge in this, though. It's just that gorgeous like fresh, just like punch you in the face tropical fruits. In the finish, you get a little bit of that like green, vegetal, raw, it's just raw hops, like chewy hop matter on your tongue, which is just awesome stuff too. But man, I knew that Royce wasn't gonna let me down with this, because he's had a lot of amazing beers, including some of the ones that I have out here from Treehouse. So he's very familiar with what I'm used to, and this is he was right. This is probably the best batch they've ever done. I think I've shot a review for this beer, and I'm not even joking, at least twice, maybe 3 times, and never posted it. I'm making damn sure I post this review if you're watching this, obviously. But I don't know why. I always thought this beer was good. I think the other times I reviewed it, I thought it was very good. But this time, I'm really glad I didn't post the other reviews, because this is fucking amazing. This really reminds me of like something from Toppling Goliath, but maybe even more intense. Like it's not as soft and restrained as something from Toppling Goliath, like the King Sue that Royce is talking about, but it is more intense. There's more. It feels like there's more hops. There's more punch to it, but it also still really works. Like it's not over the top. There's more to this beer. It's more intense than anything I've had from the Midwest as far as a really juicy, hoppy double IPA. I do have to say, and this is only because I'm spoiled out here, guys, by New England breweries, but the mouthfeel on this for me is slightly creamy. It's certainly not as rich and velvety as something from Treehouse or Trillium. And the only reason I'm even saying that and comparing them is just because they said that it's an oatmeal double IPA. I do think it could be a little richer on the mouth, on the palate, but it still has it's certainly not watery by any means. It's got a pretty decent mouthfeel to it. They did such a great job of balancing the extreme hoppiness with that beautiful just Citra bouquet. And if you guys know Citra, like it is just such a mouth-watering hop. You just want to bathe in it. This has that pineapple, like mango. It has even some peach notes in it, but it has mainly like the pineapple, and then all kinds of melon character to it. It's just that mixed with that super intense like hop punch, that bitterness from the Warrior. That's very, very restrained. Like the bitterness that's in this is just enough to counterbalance like everything else going on in this beer. And I cannot believe that it finishes so clean, and I mean it coats your mouth with the flavor, but it finishes clean without the bitterness. This is insanely drinkable for 9%, guys. You are going to get yourself into some serious trouble. Do not try to drink a 4-pack of this. You will you'll be in a world of pain if you do. Maybe 2 pints of this tops. But yeah, guys, anyways, let's get into the rating on this, because I'm just going to go on forever. This is really, really exceptional. Look at the lacing on that, by the way. Just lacing for days. Just gorgeous stuff, guys. And again, the drinkability on this is just fucking amazing. For 9% for a double IPA, this is really perfect, honestly. So as far as the score, guys, on Beer Advocate, this has a 99. Just shy of that 100s, as Joe says. Yeah, 99. Shit, you know what? I might want to go the hundreds on this. Yeah, this is gonna get, it's gonna get Hunnits, but it's gonna get 100 minus. Thank you, Darwin. Darwin's scoring grades there. Because, and I guess if you want to say, I'd say I see it somewhere between a 99 plus and like a 100 minus. I feel like going, when you're up to that level, every little half score means so much more. But you guys get the idea. It's a 99 Beer Advocate. I'm basically giving it the 100. But I do think there's definitely a few beers better than this. But this is probably my top 20, let's call it. Probably top 20 double IPAs. Probably not top 10, but top 20, at least this version. So yeah, 99 plus or 100 minus, whatever you want to call it. Definitely fantastic, guys. This is world class, absolutely. And it's a shame they only do it once a year, as far as I know. And so I hope maybe if they are able to increase production, they'll be able to put it out more than once a year. But for now, guys, if you've had Abrasive, which I think a lot of you probably have at this point, let me know if you've had this batch, the 2015 batch. Specifically, this one was canned on 10/20, so I don't know if they varied at all, but let me know if you've had this beer this year and what you think of it. I absolutely agree with Royce that this is pretty close, if not better than King Sue, for the reasons I already talked about in this review. It's just a bit more bold and intense and flavorful. It's not as quite soft. And I think that's really cool about this beer. So, and it still remains retarded, I don't want to say retarded. It still remains ridiculously drinkable, even through all those crazy flavors and ABV. So, and by the way, guys, before I go, let this thing warm up. And when I say warm up, again, let it cool down from the fridge. Like, let it come up to quite a few degrees warmer than fridge temp. There's no need or reason to be drinking these beers ice cold. They literally get better by the minute. I'm not kidding. The aromas, the flavors. This beer is now slightly colder than cellar temp, and it's the best I've had it since I opened up the can. It really is, because you just get hit. The beer opens up with the aromas and the flavors so much more. And that's just it. You gotta let these beers warm up, guys. You'll be rewarded tremendously. So, thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you to Royce for this beer. Absolutely stands up to King Sue, this batch anyways. Let me know if you've had it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next beer review, and enjoy some great beer. Cheers, guys. Thank you.